Hello, everyone. I'm Jim Garrison, and I want to welcome you to the 2025 graduation ceremony of Ubiquity University. It is a complete pleasure to be here because graduation is the point of the exercise in coming to Ubiquity. We welcome you at the beginning of your journey. We try to take as good a care of you along your journey. And now it is time for us to celebrate you for the achievements that you've obtained in the course of your matriculation with Ubiquity's pedagogy and the university studies in which you've been engaged. We're going to have a welcome from Georgie Zabo and then a blessing from Victoria Moore. And then we're going to welcome each and every one of you to give very brief summaries of your dissertations. And then Victoria will give us a closing benediction. So welcome to the 2025 graduation ceremony of Ubiquity University. And thank you all and all your friends for joining us. I'd like to now turn it over to Georgie, our Dean of Graduate Studies, who's been your mentor and guide throughout your journey, to say a few words of welcome and congratulations. Georgie?
Thanks, Jim. Well, warm welcome to you all. It's so wonderful to see you graduates and to be graduates. And it is a very special moment, not just for you, but for us at Ubiquity. And it is a celebration of you, of your achievements, your many years of hard work and tears and joys and doubts and delights as well. I do remember our talks, our email exchanges, and it was really wonderful to see how you have been changing, growing, developing, and of course the epitome of all that was reading your dissertations. I do know from experience that we feel that the road finished, but it is not. It's a new road beginning. And you have so much to share. You have so much wisdom and knowledge and kindness in your heart, and the word is waiting for you to receive all that and more. On behalf of Ubiquity University, I would like to say a big thank you for having been part of our university, and please keep in touch with us. We would like to know how your road is continuing, and maybe just finish it with Mother Teresa's words that I alone cannot change the world, but I can cast a stone across the rivers to create ripples. So create as many ripples as you can. And thank you very much for finishing your amazing research at Ubiquity. And yes, do stay in touch. We would miss you very much if we haven't heard from you in the future. So back to you, Jim.
Thank you, Georgie. And thank you for your extraordinary tutelage of our students. You're the best Dean of Graduate Studies we could possibly imagine having guiding our students' pathway. So thank you so much. And now for Victoria Moore, who is our Dean of Students, who's also been part of your journey in a very different way. And so, Victoria, want to welcome you for our opening blessing and any remarks you would like to make.
This is the lady I was talking to last night.
Welcome to all our wonderful graduates and their friends and family to your graduation ceremony on this special day. Congratulations to you from the bottom of our hearts for your great achievement of having earned a graduate degree from Ubiquity University. Our ceremony marks the culmination of your hard work, dedication, and perseverance. We celebrate your well-deserved success. At Ubiquity University, education is more than knowledge. Deep inquiry and meaningful action. You have all shown a deep commitment to forging a better world with wisdom and heart. You have shown deep character and I am very fortunate to have known you. Each of you is a true leader in your studies and in your theses and dissertations. You have displayed empathy and soul. You have cultivated self-awareness, mindfulness, emotional intelligence, compassion, and the capacity to thrive and innovate in the face of change, complexity, and uncertainty. We thank you for sharing your brilliant minds and caring hearts with us at Ubiquity University. And now we reach out to the Great Spirit, the sacred mystery. Great Spirit, we ask that you bless our graduates from this day forth with health and positive energy for their life ahead. We ask that you help them to stay true to their dreams, to use their gifts wisely, and to walk into the future with faith, gratitude, and great love. Aho, amen. Jim?
Thank you, Victoria. Thank you for all you've done as Dean of Students to support the emotional and the psychological health of all of our students who go through this very transformational process. What we want to do now, everyone, is just identify each of the graduates, and then each of you will take a few minutes to summarize your studies. I will go through the group who are here, and then there was a couple people who couldn't make it today, and Victoria will summarize their dissertations, and then we'll bring the ceremony to a close with great gratitude for each and every one of you. So I want to start with Barbara Prince. She's just received her Doctor of Ministry degree. And for Barbara, it's been a very long journey. And so Barbara, turn on your video and take yourself off mute and tell us about your dissertation. It was a demon and engaged wisdom.
Yeah, thanks so much, Jim. It's very cool to be here. And again, before I start, I'd just like to thank you and Georgie and Mary Frances and Victoria and Bob, the whole staff for all these years of great adventuring. My thesis was called Icons as Visio Divina, Doorways into the Seven Liberal Arts. And it combined 8 pieces of paintings that I did, icons that I painted, with sort of a comprehensive overview of the liberal arts as they were presented, discussed, experienced during the 7 summers in Chartres for the first go round of Chartres. And it was really exciting to be able to pair artwork with the writing. So I appreciate that say wisdom because it was Wisdom University when I began. I appreciate that Ubiquity allows that kind of merging of creativity. So thank you for that. So
Thank you. Thank you so much. Barbara was there back at creation, when I came into the university in 2005. And that first cycle of liberal arts happened between 2006 and I think 2012. And Barbara's an example of graduate degree on slow burn. Life happened.
life
And
happens.
we stayed with it. And she came to Chartres, I think, for the 7 years and did a brilliant job coalescing her learnings through prose and poetry, prose and art. So, Barbara, it's really been a great journey and deep friendship. So thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
Margot Borden. Margot, welcome. Margot's just received a PhD degree in wisdom studies. Margot, tell us about it.
An eye-opening experience when I took the first class of Anne Baring that what made me realize that everything that I had ever thought was reality was actually patriarchy. It blew my mind and my world to pieces. So I went down that route and researched about the feminine, something that had never been on my radar before. Maybe it had been in the background. And I discovered that ritual used to be the way that we would dedicate our lives, open our lives, both in a sense of community, but also to the higher, to the divine and to the divine feminine, that let's say the goddess or something. And then I thought about ritual in modern day life and how it is pretty much mundane at the best of times. And then I'm a passionate writer, and I thought about the ways that we could revive ritual without mimicking rituals of the past and without sort of, there's a lot of expressions of modern day rituals. So I researched the whole history of the feminine mostly in the West, which was my first time also researching in the West. I had spent my life exploring Hinduism and Eastern philosophy, and went back 40,000 years and researched everything to do with the feminine, the history of religion, the history of philosophy, sociology, many, many different disciplines, and came to the conclusion that there are ways of writing that can be an expression of and a ritual. And so the dissertation was called Women Writing Women's Lives, Writing as a Ritual to the Divine Feminine. And I'm in the process of turning it into a book. And because I think it's good to put it out in the world and continue, and hopefully a class at Ubiquity. Let's see. So I hope I summarized it well and gave you a picture of what it was a fabulous journey. And I'm not the same person I was 5 years ago when I started, for sure.
Well, thank you, Margot, so much. And I think all of us have had the same experience with Anne Baring. There's sort of our worldview before Anne Baring, and then after we read her extraordinary work with Jules Cashford on the myth of the goddess, and then Dream of the Cosmos, and then her recent book. She's a real world treasure, Anne Baring. So I'm delighted that you had such a transformational encounter with her. So well done. And I look forward to seeing your book.
Thank you. Hopefully.
We encourage, by the way, everyone, that all of you to transform your dissertation into books, so it gets out there into the public domain. That's what I did with my dissertation. Georgie has also written extensively on her dissertation, and we encourage all of you. And we have Ubiquity University Press that's at your disposal to help you publish whatever your dissertation is. So thank you so much, Margot. And I also want to thank you for everything you've done for the Chartres Academy and just helping out. And Margot is the convener of our writers group at Ubiquity University. So she's sort of a quasi member of our staff. So thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Jim.
Now, Marion Welton Delafield with a master's degree in regenerative health. Marion.
Thank you, Jim. Well, my inquiry was very different from the ones we've already heard about, because mine was very practical. I set up a small study of menopausal ladies to see if if their symptoms could be helped by the use of energy medicine. Pleased to report that the end of the study, their symptoms had been improved, reduced, as it were. And I haven't actually been able to turn this into something useful on a practical basis, but I'm hoping that I might have the opportunity to work with some local doctors who've shown some interest. So a very different study, quite small, but very interesting. And I was very pleased that the ladies were prepared to work with me and volunteered to undertake the work at home. So thank you. And I'd also like to say thank you very much to the university for supporting me through this. Thank you.
Well, your studies benefits 50% of the human race. So you have done a great service, dear Marion. And, getting it published and getting it out there would be, I think, a very important thing to do because since what you've demonstrated is of utility and a major rite of passage for women as they mature, uh, we should think about how we get that out there.
Well, that's quite a difficult thing to do, Jim. But certainly you're right. And of course, there are no nasty side effects from what they were doing. They were
Right.
not taking any drugs. It was just a simple set of well, how to describe it? You can't describe it as exercises, but simply holding a position a bit like acupuncture or acupressure, but no pressure, just using the electricity within the body to focus on certain areas of the body. And they undertook to do this several times a day for a period of several weeks. And there was an amazing report at the end of the improvement. It was incredible. I had something like 25, there was a very small group, 25 people, reports at the beginning of nasty symptoms. And at the end, only 7 reports of unpleasant symptoms from the group.
Really?
So that was a significant change.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
of course, you know, the doctors like to prescribe medicines for these things.
Totally.
How to deal with that nationwide, I'm not sure.
Well, at a minimum, you need to get it out as a book and maybe a self-help guide. I don't know,
Well,
but we should talk. We should talk. It's
that's
important information.
a bit of a challenge because time is marching on for me. But anyway, thank you for the idea.
Good. Well, Marion, thank you so much. It was an
Thank you.
honor having you in our learning community.
Well, I enjoyed it. I didn't set out to undertake a degree at all. I mean, I just started working with Stephanie. And one thing led to another, and I sent in so much work that I was told I had so many credits. Why didn't I do a thesis? And then I could have an MA. So that's I never began with this idea. It just sort
That's
of
how it happens. That's how it
grew.
happens. So thank you. Thank you so
Thank
much. Thank you
thank
so
you for
much.
listening to me. Thank you.
Rudolph Stadelen, who's got a master's degree in integral transpersonal psychology. Welcome, Rudolph.
I don't see Rudolph here today. Oh, I'm so disappointed.
Okay, maybe we can circle back to him in your presentation, Victoria, if he's missed the ceremony.
And perhaps Georgie can speak to Rudolph's work.
Okay, cool. Linda White. Linda. And she's just completed a PhD in wisdom studies.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. And it's lovely to share this day with so many other graduates. Some of you I've met and some I haven't. And I share the sentiment. I think one of the things I took away from the dissertation was writing as a meditative practice. And also, where I started and where I ended up, was quite a journey. Initially, it was my own personal recovery process that led to my life work in regard to trauma that's denied within our culture. And just as I was starting it, Jim Garrison got onto the whole UFO disclosure movement, and that was the etiology of the trauma that I was in recovery from. And so initially, then I changed the title to UFOs in the National Security State, and was advised to keep the focus on my recovery and not get into too deeply the details of what what I had uncovered. And so I feel like the dissertation is really just a beginning. It's laid a foundation to the next phase. And I just want to really acknowledge my niece, Alexandra, who's on the call. Um, you know, Even my nieces and nephews don't really know the family history. So I hope to, build upon it a little bit more. And the secrecy, that basically it was based on a premise we're only as sick as our secrets in my own recovery. And then we've got this national secret in the US about UFOs. So, and then also Angie, who I've been blessed to mentor for the last 13 years. And she came into my life at a time when, a lot of my recovery started all over again. And then Vivian, in her background right now, that was our original graduate cohort. And seeing that brings Mark to mind, who was one of the graduate students who has left this life. So it touches me very deeply, Vivian, to see that. And yeah, and so I think with the, the last thing I'll say about the dissertation, the initial intention was to bring my recovery and life work out of the recovery and therapy rooms and into culture. And again, it was just miraculous. Jim had no idea how terrified I was every time he asked me to do like a Great Books course or Humanity Rising. And for me, that was one of the biggest parts of the dissertation because the trauma that I was healing from came with a lot of threat, to other people and a lot of harm that we're witnessing, with the UFO disclosure movement and the people, the whistleblowers that are coming out now. And that cellular memory is what I needed to heal. From a very young age, I just had this awareness that if you said the wrong thing to the wrong person, there could be very serious consequences. And I know that sounds pretty heavy, but in essence, what my dissertation was, is, and will continue to be is mining the truth that gets mired in conspiracy. And Vivian's been a really integral part of this journey because she shares a lot of the similarities and knows what I'm talking about. So I think I'll pause there. I'm just very grateful. And and Victoria, I've got to mention, she actually read the whole thing. And as she said, it just goes on and on and on and on. And the negotiation with Georgie, I was at 400 pages and she agreed to 300, and I'm now working on getting it down to 200. So it's been quite a process. So thank you, everyone. I'm really happy to be here.
Yes, and thank you, Linda, for everything that you went through to get to a dissertation that was both therapeutic and a real contribution to what needs to be openly discussed now, and that is the trauma at the hands of our culture of people who've experienced extraterrestrial beings in one way or another. We're just emerging from the most coercively guarded secret, maybe in human history, as the US and other governments have kept the information about the UFOs, UAP as they're now called, under wraps. And you went through that process, as did your father and others in your family. And so your perseverance in sticking to it and
Mhm.
engaging in the pathway of transformation is really an example for all of us about how we should be comporting ourselves at this time with any kind of trauma, actually, but certainly the trauma that's been engendered by the repression of information about the UFOs.
Yeah, one other thing I'll add to that. One of the challenges with the dissertation was everything was happening so fast in real time. I was going to do a historical, and it's really this threat that I'm seeing even happening now with our Congress,
Mm.
of silencing people, that we really have progressed pretty quickly, that the trauma I witnessed on a family level that couldn't be talked about. And then, Captain Salas, a good example, took him 30 years to talk about his experience. And now whatever the powers to be behind all that have really infiltrated, aren't nationally and internationally. So, we're all impacted by this. And I'm really committed to the recovery and finding a sane pathway through this. So thank you.
Yeah, well, thank you, Linda. And like Margot, Linda's been very supportive to our community. She grades all the papers. And so she's been the TA for Georgie and I with all your graduate papers, your post papers for your various courses. And she's also convened the Experiencer Circle for our ET Studies program. She's taught with the great books. She just finished an extraordinary course in our ET Studies program with a colleague that a number of students felt was the best course we've offered since the beginning of the program. So Linda's a real stalwart spirit, and we've been honored to have you with us, Linda, in every possible way. So thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Eric Dale, if you want to open your video, Eric has just finished a PhD in wisdom studies. So Eric, tell us about your dissertation. Is Eric with us?
He's muted.
He's muted. Eric, let's see if we can find Eric here. You asked to unmute. So you need to unmute, Eric. And you just click the button that looks like a microphone in the lower left. There you go.
I think this is the first time on a little phone.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. I'm in a little hotel outside of Glacier Park, and I'm able to connect, so we're good. So, I missed the first few minutes trying to figure this out to get on. Are we sharing about our dissertation?
Yes. Yeah, just take a couple minutes, like you heard Linda and Margot, just to share about your dissertation.
Okay. Great. Thanks, Jim. So, yeah, my dissertation was on eco-spirituality. Subtitle is A Path for Restoring Kindred Relationship with Mother Earth. And so my research was not a strict comparison, but looking at both a Native American shamanic tradition and a Christian tradition, looking as eco-spirituality. I did that with different programs. Seminary of the Wild was the Christian one, Earth Tribe, Wild Heart Quest with Will Tagle, who many of you know from Ubiquity's past. He was my initial advisor, and so I had some great work and research with him. And so I was looking at what are the implications of eco-spirituality for care of people and for care of the planet. But that was a part of my dissertation. I think a central part was really looking at the shamanic and scientific elements of what we can call the eco field, kind of the reality that humans swim in the same way that fish swim in water. It's all that's around us. So it was a fascinating journey of exploring those ways of being, how to connect with Earth, Mother Earth. Gaia was a central concept. The Earth is a living entity that we are a part of, and that the shamanic element, the indigenous element, that everything is alive, and then how that we process then through our lives and connecting with creatures, with plants, with all of the earth around us, and recognizing that we too are nature, not just observers, not just a part of it, but really we are nature. We are an element of not only Earth, but the cosmos expressing itself. So it's been quite the journey. It's been very exciting. And yeah, so what to say, it's been a great time doing the variety of things with Ubiquity through the Chartres and the Teotihuacan was a big piece for me. The shamanic journey through the caves in the Dordogne in France. Some great experiences there over time. And so, yeah, I wound up doing the Doctor of Ministry program there with my research in these elements. What else to say? I don't know. It's been great to be with you all. Thank you all for your support. Georgie, you've been a great support throughout these 5 years that I've been involved here. And so it's great to finalize here. I'm looking forward to turning my dissertation into a book. Been encouraged by Alexander Laszlo, my advisor, to begin that process, and of course you, Jim, and Georgie, and others. That encouragement. So I'm looking forward. That's my next step, is to move forward in that endeavor. See how we can pull that together.
Great. Thank you so much, Eric. It's been a pleasure getting to know you. I'm remembering our trip together down to the Dordogne, the Neolithic caves in the Dordogne, and then Teotihuacan. That was another grand adventure at the solstice in 2024. And
I still have my red, let me see if I can get it. It hasn't come off yet.
That's extraordinary.
My red band.
Extraordinary.
I was going to take it off at the year solstice and other things, and I said, no, it's just going to come off naturally whenever it happens.
Yeah. Good for you. Good for you. I appreciate you bringing in Will Tagle. Because Will Tagle, who was, our original dean of the Wisdom School.
Yes.
And he was such a powerful spirit. And it was from Will that I think all of us learned, as you did, the power of Gaia and the living intelligence of Gaia and what he called the mother tongue, learning to speak the mother tongue, the clairvoyance required for interspecies communication and not just communion with nature, but intelligible communication with nature. That all came from Will Tagle. So thank you for bringing him in. Thank you for being a mentor to us all.
Yeah, he was a great teacher, a great guide.
Yeah. Thank you. And I look forward to your book.
Thank you.
Good. Well, thank you, Eric. I think we'll move on now to Victoria again to
Jim,
summarize.
sorry, before we do that, I think Victoria asked if I could say something about Rudolph's dissertation.
Yeah, I was going to just say that. So
sorry.
I thought I was going to start with Victoria and then have you. But since you have the floor, why don't you start with Rudolph?
Okay. Thank you, Jim.
And then we'll go to Victoria.
Apologies. I'm
all right.
so sorry he's not here. He is such a lovely being, and I'm sure those who know him, I miss him. He's wonderful. He lives most of his time in Brazil. That's where he bought a little land and he erected a small little house where he already started offering workshops. And he's from Switzerland. So anyway, his master's dissertation is actually so good that at the Creative Journey to Dissertation course, I do share it with all the MA students as an example, how it could be done or should be done. So the title, and I'm going to read this to you because I'm sorry, but over 11 years, I can't remember everybody's dissertation title and subtitle by heart. So his dissertation title was this one: Indulge in Spirit to Heal from Addictions, Partner with Ascended Masters, Sacred Plants, Darkness, and Spiritual Practices to Transcend Addictive Behavior. And here is just a few sentences from his abstract. This thesis explores the understanding of the term addiction and investigates solutions to transcend addictive behavior through various forms of spiritual approaches. This research starts by considering various definitions of the term from author for authoritative institutions in the field and examining expert opinions. The author engages in a journey of self-exploration in search of profound understanding of the self and the topic at hand. Concluding the study, the author argues that an enhanced understanding of the self allows one to comprehend the underlying patterns and core imbalances that lie hidden beneath the superficial expressions of addictive behavior. The author believes that this deeper understanding of the self contributes to and enhances the likelihood of achieving lasting transcendence over addictive behavior. Ultimately, the approach can be equally applied to a variety of other psychological imbalances. So amazing, absolutely amazing thesis. And I think he's ready to share it with others. So if you'd like to read it, please email me and I can email his thesis to you. So that was Rudolph speaking through me. He probably could have done a much better job, but hey.
Thank you, Georgie.
So back to you,
Sounds
Jim.
fascinating. Sounds fascinating. Victoria,
Yes,
you
I
want to
just I wanted to
continue
say
the list?
that Rudolph is a wonderful young man, and I am sorry he's not with us today. And I've read his thesis as well. It's excellent. Yeah, and we've known him for a long time as he went through his struggles and what he was learning and how he applied it to his life, and I'm very proud of him. Yes.
Mm, mm.
All right. There are three people that we didn't know about Rudolph, but there are three other people who are graduates who are not here. And I'm just going to speak briefly about them as well. The first one I think on the list is Laura Carrington. She has an MA in transformative business through Sounds True as our partner. Laura's main concern is her belief that there is a profound leadership crisis across governments, corporations, and communities. She states that we urgently need a new paradigm, one rooted in consciousness, compassion, and systems thinking. For 40 years, Laura built a career in information technology, 40 plus years, rising through leadership roles. Then she started her own IT strategy consulting firm, guided by a deeper commitment to integrity, value-driven leadership, and conscious transformation. Her experiences and her beliefs led her to enroll in a Sounds True Inner MBA program, learning about conscious leadership and blending business strategy with spiritual growth. She saw this as a very transformative experience, which deepened her commitment to redefine leadership in today's world. She was able to do this as she pursued an MA in transformative business leadership at Ubiquity University, culminating in her thesis, Transforming the Leadership Crisis from Command and Control to Conscious Evolution. So her academic and personal journey allowed her to synthesize her experience, her inner work, analysis, and research into a call for a new leadership model, one that meets today's challenges while preparing for the unknown complexities of tomorrow. Yeah. Our second person, I think, is Lacey Bernari. Lacey has earned an MA in Integral Transpersonal Psychology. She lives in South Korea with her husband and two children. When we first met Lacey, I think she was in Costa Rica, I think. So they've traveled a lot. She is a teacher, and her children, she has two children, learn their language wherever they go. So it's interesting to see that they're in something very different from the Spanish country to Korea. She is the founder and president of a sleep clinic in Northern California and states that the knowledge and insights she gained at Ubiquity University are applied in her life every day, touching how she lives, how she creates, and how she relates to others. We love to hear that, and I think it's so true for so many people. Her thesis, Resting States and the Continuing Evolution of Human Consciousness, an integral inquiry into sleep, dreaming, and deep rest. She explores the role of resting states such as sleep, meditation, and prayer in relation to the evolution of human potential through the lens of integral transpersonal psychology, as well as neuroscience, philosophy, and spiritual traditions. Her thesis aims to illuminate the transformative power of these resting states and demonstrate that rest is not merely a passive state, but an active, dynamic, influential, and consequential process in the ongoing evolution of human consciousness. Very interesting, very different, I think. And she's, as I think it's been over 20 years that she has her sleep clinic. So it led to what she did for her thesis. And we have one more person, Xavier Bronlet. He was just at the alumni meeting, the association meeting yesterday, and gave a presentation, and he couldn't come today. He was very upset about that, and I was as well. But I've read his PhD, as a PhD now in wisdom studies in collaboration with the Integral Transpersonal Institute in Milan, Italy. He lives in Lugano, Italy, which is an Italian part of Switzerland, and he's half Swiss and half Belgian. Of course, he explained more things to us yesterday when he was at the Alumni Association meeting. His dissertation was called Vertical Development Beyond Culture and Mind, the Intricate Relationships Between Personal, Team, and Organizational Change, an Integral Perspective. He spoke of humanity being under pressure, which provides numerous compelling reasons for corporations to reach beyond their profit motives to align with a deeper understanding of humanity's purpose, consciousness, and interconnectedness. His study contributed to a deeper understanding of how companies can evolve towards a higher level of meaning making and to respond to global challenges such as climate change, technological disruption, and socioeconomic inequality. Very well written and a very excellent presentation yesterday. And I think we have talked about all three of them. Are there any questions, I suppose?
Thank you, Victoria, very much. And thank you, Georgie, for summarizing these. I'd make just two comments. One is, if you've just taken in the few graduates we've got, you get a sense of the extraordinary spectrum of dissertations that come out of Ubiquity University. And it's a real tribute to both Georgie and Victoria that they can keep up with this diversity, because it's really profound. Actually, we don't have any boundaries here at Ubiquity. We encourage all of our students to pick a dissertation topic that burns in their heart. You know, what wakes you up at 3 o'clock in the morning and compels your being to attend to it. That's the kind of dissertation we like to support. And what we try to do, and what Georgie maintains on our behalf, are world-class standards of footnotes, bibliography, and so forth, so that whatever your topic is, you represent it in your dissertation at a world-class level. And I'm very proud to say that our graduate program is on a par with any graduate program at any university in the world. And that's thanks to Georgie. So as we finalize our graduation, I think we should also include Georgie Szabo as really both our leader and our standard bearer for the quality that we require, because now that you've gone through that process, you've reached excellence. And that's what we're really all about at Ubiquity. And the second thing I want to say to you students, is just to affirm our encouragement that you get this dissertation out there. It would be a shame after everything you've been through that it just sits on a shelf and gathers dust. And so I just want to really encourage you. We have Ubiquity University Press, which we specifically set up to publish your dissertation, so that we're very happy to help with that. You can be in touch with Georgie or Victoria or myself, and we can direct you to whatever connections you need to make with our publishing arm. I've reached out to a number of you to get you on Humanity Rising. We've invited many of you to present on our Great Books course. But now that you've gone through this process, the next phase is getting the word out. And however we can support you in that endeavor, we would like to do so. And we hope to include you in our Alumni Association. Victoria is the convener of our Alumni Association. We hope that you stay involved with the university and with the learning community. We count you as not only scholars, but we count you as friends. And that's, for me, and I know it's true for Georgie and Victoria, this is why we're here, for you. So I feel intensely grateful and intensely proud of all of you, and thank you so much. So I'll just turn it back to Victoria for a closing benediction, and then we'll all go our way.
Let us speak to the gracious and living Great Spirit. Please bless and guide our graduates as they chart new beginnings. We ask for your eternal presence to be with these graduates. May their integrity be a gift to the world. May they celebrate and lift up those around them. May they seek ways to help those who are suffering and to always seek the greater good. Great Spirit, please bless our graduates with tears to shed for those who suffer from pain, rejection, starvation, and war, so that they will reach out their hand to comfort them and help in any way they can. May their voices rise up to promote peace and justice in the world. May they serve others in a true solidarity and kinship. May they find bliss in future endeavors and adventures with advanced degrees and credentials in hand. May they discover the sacred mystery, the Holy Spirit, in the midst of life's blessings as well as in life's challenges. May they conduct their life's work with exceptional skill and integrity. May they respect all beings on the earth and in the cosmos, as we are all related. May they give their commitment to helping Mother Earth to regenerate and thrive. Aho, Amen. And we thank all of you graduates for sharing your brilliant minds and your caring hearts with us at Ubiquity University. Thank you.
Thank you, Victoria. I put everybody on gallery view so you can all see each other and celebrate each other. It's been quite a journey, and please stay in touch. Please stay in touch. So you can take yourself off mute and we can all say goodbye.
Great to see you. Bye-bye.
Bye, all.
Thank you, everyone.
Everybody.
Bye-bye.
Blessings, blessings. Love you all.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.